Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the Z TV. Nottingham Forest 3, Chelsea Football Club 1. What's what's there left to say about this team, about this club, about these players that we haven't said before? Everything about this club right now is just rotten to the core, from the top to the bottom. And don't get me wrong, while the emphasis and the eyes should definitely be on the owners, these players are absolute criminals. Absolute criminals. Because the performance that they put out there today, they tried today. They didn't down tools today. I've seen all these tweets online about Cole Palmer looks like he doesn't want to be here and down tooling. And no, Cole Palmer is just playing like absolute shit. It's not for a lack of effort. It's not for a lack of trying. Him and countless other players are just poor, just absolutely poor. And today it was a disaster from the beginning. Credit to Nottingham Forest's B team. Forest has one eye on their Europa League semifinals, up 1-0. They got to go to Villa Park on Thursday. They played Thursday, Monday, and then Thursday again. And they went out there and just first half, second half, absolutely just ripped us to shreds. Clinical. Everybody's clinical versus us. They had 2 shots on target, I think, in the first half and 2 goals. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from the beginning. Lineup today: Sanchez in goal, Gusto right back, Trev and Tosin as center backs, Cucurella left back, Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia in the midfield, Palmer right wing, JP up top, and then on the left wing, Jason Derry got his first start. Pick up the kid today. We'll talk about what transpired with him, but no Garnacho in the squad, injured or sick. No Neto in the squad, same, injured or sick. But today, just from the beginning, just absolutely just atrocious, right? We get off to a semi decent start. We're moving the ball, but Forest literally their first attack comes down their right hand side, our left hand side. They double up on Cucurella. Jason Derry's ball watching, as a lot of young kids will do, right? Young kids might want to show their flair on the ball, show what they have on the ball, but it's also the defensive side of it. And we've seen it numerous times this season with Garnacho not tracking runners, whether it be at the back post. And today, for the first goal, Jason Derry is just as fault as anybody. Doesn't close it down, allows their right winger Bakwa, Strasbourg kid. We sold him to Forest in the offseason, or I think in January maybe. He gets a ball, no pressure on him, cuts it back on his left foot, whips it in on Yowie, on what Yewi, whatever the fuck his name is, running unfree or unmarked, free in the box, free as a bird, free as you like. Header into the back of the net. Nothing Sanchez can do. Once again, Trevor Chalobah at the scene of the crime, marking absolutely nobody. You've got Tosin tight on his man at the near post. Trev, Gusto in the back, just marking space as usual. This guy, Trevor Chalobah, right? He gets away with murder in this team. Everyone wants to point at Trev. Wants to point at Tosin. And look, Tosin's equally as bad. But this guy just an absolute terrible center back. Terrible center back. Doesn't know when to mark. Is slow, can't run. Loses duels, not good in the air. Just all the time. And we want to give this guy a new contract. For what? Why are we extending him? Because he's a Cobham kid? Because he's good in the locker room because he's Jehovah's son. Nah, man, he needs to absolutely go. We've tried to sell him 2 or 3 times before, couldn't find any takers for him. The more he plays, the more you see why. It's 1-0 Forest. We come down the other end. Enzo has a shot that goes off the post. Things might have been a little bit differently had some of the breaks gone our way, some of the refereeing decisions, but it ricochets off the post. Forrest once again down our right hand or down their right hand side, our left hand side, whips a ball in. Ball lands nearly out of play, but what does Gusto do? Pulls on the shirt, pulls on Yewi down. He falls to the ground. It goes to VAR. It's an obvious penalty. Don't get me wrong. There were some poor refereeing decisions today, but this was not one of them. Clear as day penalty. Completely unnecessary. Gusto looks like he just absolutely doesn't give a fuck. And they step up, power through the penalty. Good placement. It's 2-0. And you're like 15 minutes gone. Stamford Bridge is quiet other than the booze. And yeah, it's pretty much sums up our season in a nutshell. Defensive errors, bozo moments, not being clinical at the other side, and the opportunity that we did to get back in this one. Jason Derry, who fairly decent going forward, right? Can hold up the ball, can dribble, can beat a guy. We get a corner, comes in, they win the header. It comes to the back post. Derry, as brave as you can be, puts his head in harm's way, takes an absolute monster shot to his head, knocked out, concussed, out cold, mid-flight. No malicious intent by the Forest defender. He also goes off. Just two guys putting their bodies on the line, pause, to try to win a header. Derry gets there first. We win the penalty. 10, 11, 12 minutes transpire because Derry is out cold for a few minutes. Their guy is getting looked at with a concussion. He goes off. Derry ends up getting stretchered off. He goes off. The lap comes on. And guess who steps up to take the penalty? None other than Cole Palmer. And what does Cole Palmer do? Gets his penalty saved. Instead of going in with the momentum, 2-1 at the half, it's 2-0. And yeah, what happens in the second half? Look, it's not even worth breaking down the entire second half of what happens. There's two things that happen in the second half. One, Levi Colwell comes on at halftime. Plays pretty decent, but he follows his man up in the midfield. They play a pass around the right-hand side, our left-hand side. The guy gets past Cucurella, who had an absolute stinker today. He puts a pass in. Guess who's keeping the guy onside? Guess who's also too slow to not mark his man? Trevor Chalobah. 3-0. Chorus of boos. Players drop their heads. And yeah, that's pretty much Europe right there. We get a wonder goal by João Pedro. Almost had two today, was just marginally offside for the second one. So again, like I said, there was a penalty shout in the first half with Gusto. It should have been a penalty. Gusto, of all the times when he goes down theatrical, this was the only time that he didn't, and he should have. But yeah, even refereeing decision aside, just overall, just a dross performance. We had the majority of possession. We had the majority of shots. Even when our players look like they care and look like they're actually playing for something, they're still just put in a shit performance. We lost at home today, 3-1 to a side that's 15th or 16th in the Prem. Rotated, no Morgan Gibbs-White, who did come on, but then end up going off with a nasty cut. I just saw it on Twitter. Nasty, looked like Uncle Fester with just the stitches right down the middle of his forehead. No Chris Wood. Igor Jesus did play. No Elliot Anderson into the second half. No Nico Williams. No Ola Aina. No Murillo. Milinkovic came on, I think, as a second half sub, probably just to get a few minutes in some of these guys' legs. No Amari Hutchinson. no Hudson Odoi. I mean, it might have even been their C team. I mean, be honest with you, because I didn't know half the players that played on this Forest side. But where do we go from here? Where do we absolutely go when these players had the audacity to down tools in some of those matches that we were losing under Senior, even though these idiots are playing for their paycheck, right? We all know that they're on bumper contracts, 25% plus ups if they make the Champions League, and I'm sure probably a little bit more if they make, or a little bit less if they make the Europa League. But even when they cared, which they did today, the effort was there. Just shit, just shit. Everyone bar JP. I don't know what happened to Hato and why he doesn't get a run out anymore. He was arguably our best player under Senior, him and JP, and he doesn't get a run out anymore. And yeah, it could be because of they had good height and things like that. Deserves to play, man. He deserves. He's every bit as good in the air. At least he fights for it. Better on the ball. Got some pace about him. Play the guy, man. Play Sar. You know what you have in Tosin. You know what you have in Trevor Chalaba, and they keep getting runouts. And time in, time again, they keep letting the managers down, the fans down, because they're not good enough to play at this club. I don't care what anybody says. As shit as these owners are, as shit as these sporting directors are, this team is not talent wise does not deserve to be in or not should not be in ninth place, 10th place. I don't even know where we are because Everton squeaked out a draw today versus Man City. You could say Man City stole a draw, but just this is as bad. I would say this in the year we finished 12th when Graham Potter in the first year that Clearlight came in. This even then though the noise around the club wasn't as bad as it is now. The finances are fucked. No front of the shirt sponsor. Crashed out of the Champions League in dramatic or tremendous fashion. Out of the Carabao Cup semifinals. Yes, we're in the FA Cup final, but are we really fancy ourselves against a Man City side that's going to want to look to leave with maybe domestic trouble? I have no idea. I told myself I wasn't even going to do a match reaction, to be honest with you, but did a few things around the house. Watched the City game while I was doing a couple of things, doing some errands, and said, you know what, fuck it. I can't be a fair weather fan. I got to be there when we're winning. Got to be here when we're losing. Got to give the people what they want. Here it is, folks. Here it is. Like I said, player ratings, all of them bar JP, fours, threes, twos. Lavia trash today. Enzo, apart from that one shot, what did he do? Nothing. Cucurella, terrible. Gusto, terrible. Sanchez, not at fault for any of the goals. Kicking wasn't even that bad today. End up going off injured for Jorgensen. The ghost of Jorgensen came back. Cole Palmer, terrible today. Derry, okay. Delap, when he came on, absolutely atrocious. This guy, man, just chasing his first touch around the pitch, got a yellow card for dissent. Just bad, top to bottom. I don't even think the manager, apart from the Hato bit, I don't think the manager much he could do. Wasn't much he can do. So, look, you can give the owners and the directors their criticism, and it's justifiably deserved. Managers haven't been great across stretches of the season, especially with the senior. But at the end of the day, players need to have some pride in their performances. Players need to show a little bit of fight. They need to show some quality. They need to justify why they should be here next year at the club. And today, they let us down. But it is what it is, folks. It is what it is, man. Hit that like, guys. Hit that subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.